Here's your word for the day from Calvary in Lake Havasu. Visit us on the web at calvaryaz.com.
Good morning, Calvary. Pastor Chad here with your word for the day. Hey, how many of you like salt? I can't see your hands. I'm just assuming that all of you like salt because salt-free food is bland. One time we mistakenly bought a can of salt-free green beans and they were horrible. I mean, they were just like, we were eating them. We didn't know it was salt-free. We had to dig the can out of the trash, but they were terrible tasting. By the way, Jesus likes salt too. Listen to what he says in Mark chapter 9, verse 50. He says, salt is good. Salt is good. Some of you are like, yeah, I'm going to tell my doctor what Jesus said. Salt is good, but if the salt has lost its saltiness, how will you make it salty again? Have salt in yourselves and be at peace with one another. Of course, this echoes what Jesus said in Matthew chapter 5, where he says, you're the salt of the earth. And again, if the salt has lost its saltiness of what uses it, just throw it out. So what he's saying is if salt has lost its flavor, it's of no value. There's no point to it. It's just pointless. And if it has its flavor, then the salt has to actually touch food to impact the taste of the food. Nobody who likes salt puts the salt shaker near their plate. They put the salt on their food and it makes the food taste good. So I want you to think about this. Jesus says salt is good. He says you're the salt of the earth. A couple of takeaways for those of us who are followers of Jesus. If you're a follower of Jesus, you're supposed to be salt, which means you're supposed to taste like Jesus. We're supposed to flavor our world for Jesus. So a question I'd ask you is simply this. Are you Jesus flavored? Does your life and actions and thoughts and words reflect the flavor of Jesus' life, the character of Jesus? You know, we say it all the time here at Calvary. You can't represent Jesus unless you reflect his character. So do you taste like Jesus? Second thought is we bring about transformation in this world by touching the world. One of the reasons so many churches are struggling is because the people are in the church and they never get outside the church to represent Jesus out in the world. They just talk about how terrible the world's getting. Well, we're the salt of the earth. We're supposed to touch the people of this world. And that's why at Calvary we serve people. That's why at Calvary we serve our community. And the reason we do that is so that you and I can be shoulder to shoulder and nose to nose with people who are far from God on purpose. We want to be there with them. We want to be around them. We want to see them so that we can flavor them for Jesus, so that we have a chance to invite them to come and meet the Savior, the one who changed our life, that can change their life. But you know what? If you're not intentional about that, you won't do it. And you don't need an organized activity from Calvary to do that. Hopefully you're salt everywhere you go. Hopefully you're salt at work. Hopefully you're salt when you're playing, when you're at your affinity groups with your friends, when you're at your kids' or grandkids' soccer games or baseball games or cheerleading competitions. Hopefully you're just salt all the time for Jesus, flavoring the people around you with the grace of God day in and day out. That's how we can have a kingdom impact. So my prayer and hope is that you taste like Jesus. God bless.